This is Emeka Ogwonyi again, founder of DPA. This is part 2 of my explanation. When I saw the video clips where the police were parading the so-called suspects of Chacha's case and getting them to confess that they killed a woman, as the leader of DPA, I was shocked. How could you detain people for weeks, deny them access to lawyers, and then suddenly parade them and they will confess to murder? And one of them bore a bandage on his forehead. And to compound the whole madness, none of the journalists who were all called to parade these boys asked them a very simple question. Have you seen a lawyer? Have you spoken with a lawyer? Have you had access to your family? Since you were arrested, did you have access to family? Did you have access to lawyers? None of the journalists asked that question. So that meant that these were hand-picked journalists whom the police had prepped up on what question not to ask. DPA could not be silent in the face of such abnormality. So again, on that ground, we questioned the police. We questioned the police for incompetence. That got them very, very mad. On July 6th, the police invited me to their offices in Abuja. They ordered me detained. I was detained at Abattoir, the killing ground where the Nigerian police in Abuja abused the rights of the citizens in ways that will shock the conscience, in ways that will make what happened in Libya look like a child's game. I was detained for 4 days over the weekend. In the course of my detention, I met the suspects for the first time in my life. One of the suspects spoke to me and told me, I asked him a very simple question. Did you kill Chad? Was the confession you made voluntary? The man said no. He then went ahead to explain to me the level of torturing that led him to make those confessions. He said he fainted 3 times. And the police gave him the option. You either say you did it or we'll kill you. According to him, they told him, listen, the husband of Chacha, the woman, is a very powerful man. He provided us the vehicle and nothing you can do. Just admit. This was coming from a suspect. He said that out of fear that he was going to be killed and that if he was killed, nothing would happen, he said out of the fear of that, he confessed to murder. He said he had no idea who or what Charity looked like until the day he was paraded and given her picture. He said it was from the picture they gave him on the parade ground that he had an idea what the woman looked like. The way he spoke, my assessment of him, I believed him. But above all, he also has additional evidence that would have made it impossible for him to be involved in the death of the woman, along with the other guy, that is Jeku, who also confessed. And it was Jeku that implicated the second man, Emmanuel Adoga. So, based on that, I asked him to request in writing for DPA to provide him assistance. That was how the young man in prison cell was able to scrap on a piece of paper an instruction for DPA to represent him. I came out of Abattoir a changed man. I saw the Nigerian police in a way I didn't know they existed. I had read about things. I had read things about Nigerian police. I did not believe it until I was 4 days in abattoir. After I came out, I thought about these things very, very deeply. I felt very, very pained by my own country that these atrocities are happening today in a democracy, in the capital city, just a couple of miles away from where our lawmakers sit. Indeed, less than a mile away from where the president of Nigeria lives. I was troubled by abattoir. In the next edition of this, or the next video, I will explain to you how ultimately I responded to the abattoir. That's the abattoir experience, and what the police did next.